Can you imagine waking up and feeling really eager to meet your day, confident and secure in knowing that whatever unfolds, you're very well prepared to meet that, and that you can be assured that no matter who you're going to encounter, you'll get them, you'll understand them, and you'll be able to respond appropriately. And if their energy is positive and supportive, you'll be able to make a good connection. And if their energy is ungrounded or unstable or hostile, you'll be able to move away from it without ever even having to engage. Can you imagine? Or could you imagine that you're tuned into your body? You're not stuck in your head. You're centered in your heart. You're solid in your gut. You're sound on your feet. And that when you tune inward, you can tell if I'm healthy. And listen to your body, knowing what it needs and saying yes to it when it needs it. Like knowing I need a break now. And without any struggle, any argument, any resistance, giving yourself that 5 or 10 minutes. Or knowing the minute you pick up something to eat, maybe in a restaurant, that this isn't good for me, I shouldn't eat that. Or this is great for me, I should eat more of that. Like when you're in a grocery store, I'm getting the hit, I'm getting the vibe that I should eat more greens, or I shouldn't drink that juice. Or this is good for me, or maybe I need some more grains this week, and you just know it. You're not thinking it. So you don't have to second guess and figure out what to eat because you're in your body and it's telling you. Or can you imagine that you're tuned into your talent? You're tuned into your inner self and your talent. You know what you're here to do for a purpose, that you don't have to think about it at all. You know where you want to make contributions, and you don't confuse it with your job. You know that it's my service. It's my contribution to life. It's my way of making life better for others and being present. And you don't fight it. Like, for example, what if your sense of contribution is music, and instead of fighting it because you've been told that's not realistic, you play music, you sing, you share, you produce, you put it out there because you can now. There are no gatekeepers. Or you write, and that you share what you feel, and you don't do it because you want to make money. You do it because you want to make a difference, and you share it with love and joy. And you share it with confidence because it's your spirit connecting. Or can you imagine, this is a big one, not being lonely because you are connected to yourself? No, there's a wonderful teacher, Dr. Gabor Mate, who says our isolation and loneliness is epidemic on this planet, but it's not because we're not around others, not connected to others. It's because we're disconnected from ourselves. So can you imagine a life where that wasn't the case, where you were connected to your heart, your spirit, yourself, and you were in love with yourself, and not in a narcissistic and unhealthy way, but in a deep, appreciative way that you really valued who you are. And it wasn't a struggle, and it wasn't an effort, and you weren't fighting a bunch of toxic input from others, that you really could heal, be whole. Well, these are some of the aspects of where our planet is pushing us to go, to live. This big planetary shift that we're in isn't to torture us, it's to heal us. It's to help activate our inner senses, which frankly and fortunately are activating in people. But what we need to learn next is how to integrate those senses, how to respect and honor that as a natural part of who I am. We've been taught and told we're only physical beings with 5 senses, and that has really fragmented us. That has been really bad information. Just look around, and where's that gotten us? We've denigrated our planet. We're fighting with one another. We're completely numbed out. We're toxic beyond. We hurt one another. We don't have any sense of where we belong. I mean, it's, thank God, the end of that story. Everything that's happening on this planet right now that's asking us to level up and wake up and get those missing inner pieces of awareness back is to help us heal, to return to wholeness. And that's what we are all kind of have no choice but to do right now, thank goodness. Now, think about your own experience. Are you spontaneously starting to be more aware of your experience and be more mindful? Is it crossing your mind? Or are you still tuned out? You wouldn't be on this channel if you were. If you're still tuned out, those people will find their way when it's their time. But if you're tuning in and you're starting to pay attention, this is the most exciting time in your life. It starts with, and I'd like to invite you to imagine that your life actually could be quite peaceful and congruent and connected and loved. That seems like such a stretch. And do you know what? If you're only in your left brain and you're only using your ego and you're only using your outer senses, you can't have that experience because it is an inner spiritual one. Now, we do need to use our outer senses, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, where you're paying attention to what's going on around you. Perhaps one of the biggest challenges to our ability to live a congruent and fluid, balanced life is how checked out so many of us are, how tuned out, just stuck in our phones and numbed out, neither here nor there. And we're not paying attention to anything or using any of our senses. And that is something that we're being shocked out of. That is something that we're not going to get very far in life continuing to do. We have to use all of our senses, outer and inner, to lead and create a well-informed, grounded, productive, joyful life. This great planetary shift that everybody's talking about is just that. The inner self and the inner senses are like their own planets. We have our outer senses, and let's just check in for a minute. How well are you using yours, and how well do they work? I know, for example, my physical eyes don't work that well anymore. I need glasses to read. Sometimes I need to really pay attention, but just generally going through life, do you actually look around and see what's in front of you? Or how about your ears? Do you listen? What are you listening to? Now, we have to learn to be discerning with our senses, both inner and outer. We learn to choose what we're receiving, and does it resonate with us? Does it support our authentic self, our health, our well-being, our congruency? It's not a figure out question. It's a feel the energy question. Does this feel congruent? Am I in a job that feels congruent? Am I with people that feel congruent? Can I show up in a way that invites more congruency? Can I be more present to others instead of tuned out? Now, if you want a good relationship with anyone, it starts with sharing a breath and paying attention and giving them your attention. Doesn't mean you give them your approval or disapproval or give up your boundaries, your autonomy, or your sovereignty. It just means honor them for a minute with your full attention. That will improve just about any relationship you have, no matter how incongruent or disruptive it is. And if you give them your full attention and what you observe is not good for you, then recognize and give that information your full priority and disconnect. You know, one of the biggest things I see as a spiritual teacher who has been helping people read life accurately is denial. It's like, I don't want to believe what I'm actually experiencing. I keep telling myself this is a better person than who is really in front of me. I keep telling myself that even though what I'm hearing is a lie or doesn't feel authentic, that it is. Now, that's where we become our own worst enemies, is we are not willing to live a congruent, well-informed, conscious, accurate life. We're in some alternative reality. I'd say at least 50% of the people that I work with are struggling and suffering, not because their senses don't work. They do, but because they don't want to believe what their senses are telling them. Both their outer senses, I clearly see you're lying, or I clearly see that you're cheating, or I clearly see that you're not doing what you said you were doing. And your inner senses. I clearly sense that your interest in me isn't genuine. I clearly sense that you're manipulating me. I clearly sense that you're dishonest or a thief or whatever. We deny it. We've been taught to deny it. We've been taught to be nice. But the time in the world for that is changing. We're being invited with all these planetary changes to activate our inner senses, to read life accurately, honestly, truthfully, and to make decisions that genuinely respect and support who we are and who others are. Now, that's only going to lead to good results, but it's not easy, and it is something that we have to learn. And we learn in bite sizes, step by step, but we can learn it because it is how we are designed, and it is the way of the future peace on this planet that we all desire. So to that end, I'd like to invite you to my free workshop on how to read life accurately, how to be present, be honest, be available, listen to the senses and what they're giving us, and make choices that respond in the best possible way. The workshop is free, and I don't want you to hesitate. You can click the link below to sign up. It's a VIP invitation, and don't waste time. It's tomorrow. I want to teach you now because we all need to learn how to honor and read our inner senses and outer world accurately so we can live peaceful lives. I'd like to teach you how. So please join me. Click the link below. It's tomorrow and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you there.